Hey everybody, welcome back to Classics Are Better. I'm Travis, and today we're back working on Bandit, my 66 C10. Plan is to get it ready for an LS swap. So I do have a 5.3 and a 4L60E going in this thing, but before that can happen, I got to get the old small block Chevy out, all of its accessories, etc., and probably the front end off this truck. So let's get after it. Alrighty y'all, so as I was saying, the plan for today is to get this old 66 C10 ready for its LS swap. What does that mean exactly? Well, I need to drain all the fluids, oil, antifreeze, all that kind of stuff, get the radiator out, get the trans cooler out, get any of the wiring connected in the choke, anything connecting the motor to the truck, basically get it unhooked. Got to get the hood off, and then I think I'm going to go big and go ahead and just take the front clip of the truck off. That's going to make it just so much easier for me to pull this motor by myself and to get the LS out of the Suburban and get it in there by myself. Hopefully I can have some people come help me over if I can call my neighbors or some of my friends or whatever. But a lot of this I have to do just after my kids go to sleep. So the more access I have and the easier it is, the happier this guy is. So that's kind of the plan for right now. All right, y'all, let's get this party started by first draining the oil. So now that we got the oil out of here, the next thing is gonna be getting the antifreeze out, getting the radiator out, the battery, all that kind of good stuff. I do have a new Champion 3-row radiator, so I'm gonna keep this. It's overkill even for the LS. I need to get the battery out, get the trans cooler out, which, guys, don't ever mount your trans cooler in a location like this. That is useless from the dude who did it before me. But anyway, started getting the carb off, getting everything unhooked that I can. Essentially just disconnecting the motor from everything else. Alright, so I got the battery out. Next step is going to be getting the antifreeze out of here. For that, I'm going to use the petcock here on the end of the radiator. So turn that, let it drain out. After I get most of it out with that, there'll still be a little bit left in the system, and then I'll just pull the lower rad hose here, and that'll splash out the rest. Alright y'all, so I just wanted to give you a quick little tech tip. Instead of using like a tiny little pan to let all this antifreeze fall into and splatter everywhere, get yourself a nice tall plastic tote, preferably see-through so you can see what's going on, and then slide it right up under there, and it will help with some of the splatter. It's still going to make a mess, but less mess is always good. Alright, so now that most of the antifreeze is out, I'm going to go ahead and tackle stuff like the air cleaner and the carburetor and junk like that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this hood off of here. It's just in the way while I'm taking this stuff out. To get it off, it's just two bolts, and then a whole lot of balancing over. So I'm gonna go see if one of my neighbors or my wife's available to help me just kind of heave-ho this thing over. If you're trying to do it by yourself, be very careful. This thing is heavy, could fall back, hurt the hood, hurt your windshield, hurt your back, you know, all the above. So find a friend if you can. Hood, no hood. Okay, so there's still going to be some antifreeze down somewhere in the bottom of this thing, so when you get it out, just kind of tip it so it drains into your pan. I'm still going to use some old cardboard here, tape it up just to help protect these fins, and then just two bolts right here. Next two things I'm doing is the distributor and the power steering. Distributor is just going to be right here in the back of your small block Chevy, and you're going to want to undo that one bolt right here. It's just kind of a collar that holds on the stem. Take that off. You can work this up and out. Then on this side, this is your power steering reservoir, and you're just going to want to disconnect the hoses from the back of that. So the cap on one of these old distributors is just held in by this little clip type thing right here. Again, this is obviously upside down, but you'll just push down and turn it loose to get it out, and then when you reinstall, push down, clamp it back. Okay, now that I got most everything disconnected, let's get this thing up in the air and get the drive shaft and the exhaust disconnected. I got the exhaust out. The next thing is to get this drive shaft out of here. Alright, so this motor and tranny is totally disconnected. I'm going to work on getting some of the front end off of here just to make it a little easier on myself since I'm doing it all alone and I got some refinish work I want to do on the front anyway. Hey everybody, so it's the next day. I got the whole front end of the truck off, ready to go. Now it's time to hook up this leveler right here and get my engine crane, get this thing out of here. Well, heck yeah, y'all. Finally, I got this thing out. So the small block is out of my C10. It did fight me the entire way. So I ended up having to take off this motor mount and this part of the exhaust. I had cut it off about a foot back, but just neither of those would clear these janky homemade 2x4 box steel motor mounts. But it's all good. Got it out. I am noticing though, and I kind of had suspected before, but I am pretty sure this is a different cross member than in a stock 66. I think this is like from an early 80s. I'm not sure if any of you smarter than me internet mechanics out there happen to know this by some awesome feature. Please let me know. Here's kind of the spot like with the A-arms and springs and everything like that. But yeah, if you guys know kind of what year this could be off of, that would really help me out. So please leave me a suggestion or comment, you know, all that kind of good stuff. Let me know. As again, that would really help me out finding parts for this thing down the line. Tell you what, y'all, it does feel good to have this thing out of there. So we did kind of have an ongoing mystery with this small block. When I bought it from Bubba out in Canton, he told me that it was a 350. When I took off the valve covers to freshen everything up and just look inside, I realized that it's 305 heads. So I was just not sure if this was a 305 or a 350. Either way, it was super tired and really needed a full rebuild anyway. So I don't feel guilty about doing the LS swap. It's not like it was original to this truck. So here's the serial for this thing that I've been trying to get to for a while, and that's totally why I couldn't get a good picture of it, because it is just chewed up, even just sitting out here and cleaned. So I will try and figure out what this is. Is it a 305? Is it a 350? Well, it is a... So whatever that just said, because I'm going to have to look it up later. Alright y'all, so that does it for part 1 of the LS swap series here on my Bandit C10. Coming up next, I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do to pretty much prep the engine bay, get it ready for the LS, and then we'll probably do one that's actually putting the LS in and getting it hooked up best we can. And then I don't know if there'll be another one after that. It just depends on how tuning and wiring and all that kind of stuff goes, so and how long it takes me. But I'm going to start grinding on this thing, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, my friends. Get out there, get wrenching. Until the next time, take it easy.